Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. This is a weird setup. I look like I just went through a hurricane because I just had a rough day at work. But I am coming in to start this week's reading vlog, and I do have some very exciting reading plans. And I would say if I could sum up what I hope this week will be, I hope it will get me back into the pace of my reading because last week I had a couple days where I just didn't want to read at all, which is abnormal for me. Not a problem at all, but it's just abnormal for me. And so I'd like to be excited to pick up books and read every day and be pumped about it. So that's my goal for the week. But without further ado, let's get into this very eclectic TBR. So, first off, the holdover book from last week is The Likeness by Tana French. I'm about halfway through this one. This is the second book in the Dublin Murder Squad series, and the hook of this is a cop named Cassie who was in the first book. However, I think you could read this as a standalone. But anyways, a cop named Cassie shows up to a murder scene, and the victim looks exactly like her. And the ID she's carrying is an alias that she used to carry when she was undercover several years ago. And she decides to go undercover as the victim, pretending that that person hasn't died, and live her life, pick up right where she was before she died and just try and solve the mystery that way. I'm really, really enjoying it. Definitely dark academia vibes, definitely secret history vibes. It is a chunkster. I'm reading it physically and also on audio, and I'm really enjoying that format. So hoping to finish this one this week. I do need to read The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, and I do actually get to talk with you guys a little bit about it on this vlog because our live show will go up before the vlog will go up, so I don't have to worry about spoiling my thoughts. So I will be reading this one in this vlog, and then if you are interested in the live show where I chat with Mary, Malena, and Shannon, I will link you to that. It is already live by the time you are seeing this video. This is a magical romance of sorts, and I'm going to kind of go into it just knowing that. I think it's cozy and should be a good time. Then I think it is finally time. I have never read Heartstopper ever, and people love this. And I think I want something that's just quick to read, maybe a little bit different from what I've used to because I've been feeling a little slumpy recently, and a graphic novel certainly is different. And something that's just gonna whisk me away. This is a male romance of two high school kids, I believe. And I think there are 5 in the series, I want to say, but heard really good things about that. And then the last book that I'm hoping to read this week, I'm hoping will bring me all of the fall vibes, and that is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. This is the first book in the Dream Harbor series. I have not read any of them, but I've heard that this is a spicy time, but also just a fun fall vibey time. So this is just quite the TBR, dark academia, a graphic novel, and some smutty fun romances. I think it's gonna be a great week. So I need to go finish my glass of wine and edit last week's vlog and get it up for you guys. And then Tyler's about to head to work. He works at 11 p.m. tonight, and I work at 7 a.m. in the morning, so I will not see a whole lot of Tyler, but that's fine. So I'm going to edit last week's vlog, and then I'm going to do a little bit more reading of The Likeness before I head to sleep. Wednesday. I usually do a little evening update, but I work tonight at 7, and so I figured that I would just update you guys before I go to Orange Theory and work. So that's why I look like this, wearing workout clothes, which is also not my typical day in the life. So, what has happened since I chatted with you guys last? First of all, Tyler and I went to this wine dinner last night, which was lovely. There were some weird moments. First off, we walked in and they were like, "Oh, you're joining 11." We're like, "That's weird. What's 11? What are we joining?" There was this like lovely couple who was on a date and they just like sat us at their table. And I was like, I don't know how to approach this. Thankfully, one of the other people was like, "Hey, do you mind if we like have our own separate table to like have our date night so we're not at a random 4-person table with these people we've never met?" So that was fine. But the food was just incredible. There was this fennel and pear goat cheese tart, and then a little like scallop thing, and this duck dish, and it was all incredible. And then this dessert platter, which was insane. We still have some of it downstairs, and of course wine pairing, and it was perfect. Like I am just thrilled. I will go to any number of those. It made my week. It made my month. So we did that, and then otherwise, I have been off, obviously, as I work tonight. So we just watched the episode of Bake Off. We've had kind of a chill day at home. I did some editing, and I'm burning a lovely little wax melt. So cozy day. I do have 3 boxes, 1 5-star read to tell you about, and I'm still making my way through the likeness, so I'm not going to give you any more updates until I finally finish that one, but I have something like 30 pages left, so that should be in the next update. But let's start with the boxes. So first off, this literally made me cry when I opened it. So it's something from my gift list, or my wish list. Tyler came up to me and was like, "You got another book?" And I was like, "No, actually this time I don't think I did." But it was from the lovely Milena from Milena Reads. Thank you so much. She sent it to me for my birthday, which is this week. So that was really, really lovely. And it's something that I kind of had been eyeing for a little while. So I popped it on my list. It is Pumpkin Spice and Poltergeist, it says, "Get ready for a bewitching tale of love, laughter, and supernatural shenanigans in the heart of Maple Hollow." And it sounds like it's a fall romance of sorts. And the cover just got me. So I probably won't pick this up in this vlog, but it will be coming soon, probably in the October or November vlog. So thank you so much, Milena. This literally made my week. This was so sweet of you. And then I had 2 massive boxes from Blackwell's. I know what this is. I did this damage myself. So let's let's dive in. All right, so box 1. These should be all of the Nevermore books. So I read Nevermore at the beginning of this month. I will link my vlog where I talked about it. And after that, I was like, I need all the books. However, they only sell the American copies at like Barnes & Noble and American bookstores, and I don't like the American covers. I like the British covers. And so I ordered them from Blackwell's, which ships internationally. So I think the next one, I wish there was numbers on them. I'm not sure what order they go in, but here is Wonder Smith. And then we have Hollowpox. These are just beautiful with like the foiling. And I imagine this one here is just going to be I think it's Silverborn or something, the new one. Ooh, she is chunky. Oh my God, is this large print? No. No, it's not large print. Okay. I panicked for a second. This is the newest one. It's called Silverborn, and it is a chunk stir, but in paperback. So I am also like, though I'm a little salty. Like, why is this bigger than the other ones? Like, make them all the same size. But I have the whole series now on my shelves, and I will be picking them up here. They have just been such a treat in the fall. I probably will pick the next one up maybe like November time, December. So yeah, thank you, Blackwell's. Thank you, Blackwell's, for shipping these internationally. All right. So as I said, for my reading update, I'm not going to tell you more about the likeness because I'm not done with it, but I'm almost done with it. 5 stars. Heartstopper, by Alice Oseman. I don't know why it took me so long to read this, but believe the hype. It is incredible. It is so, so good. So this is a graphic novel. It's volume 1 of 5, I believe. And it is about two boys who fall in love, and it's a high school romance. And I don't want to like spoil anything, but the artwork is just like decadent, beautiful stuff. I mean, this is essentially what it's like, what the artwork looks like, but I don't want to show you anything on the inside in case I like give you a spoiler. Some of the things I loved in here was just like the how much of a cinnamon roll, honestly, both of these boys are, but how much they are to each other. There are some really tough topics in here. There is like sexual harassment, essentially sexual assault by somebody else in the book. There is a lot of bullying, hazing. So look at trigger warnings, but I absolutely loved this. This was stunning, and I will definitely be reading all of the volumes. And this was also a nice, quick little, like, I read this in one sitting this morning, which is something that I haven't done in a while. And it's really nice to read a book in a sitting. So 5 stars, phenomenal. So, oh, I don't think I told you guys. Got my flu shot. Everyone get your flu shot. Flu shot save lives. But my arm is a little sore. So hopefully Orange Theory goes okay today. I am about to head off. I'm going to pick up this whole mess on the floor, and I will let you know when I finally finish the likeness. So it is my birthday. It is Friday, and it has been a really lovely day. I was post nights in the morning, so I slept until about noon. Then Tyler and I, he went to work at 3, so we got to just like chill a little bit. He was watching some spooky movies, which I partook in a little bit. We were going to have our live show. However, I got the time zones wrong, which sounds like very obvious, but I think we're in 3 different time zones and I confused 2 of them. Totally my fault. So we ended up not deciding not to do our live show for the guide to the Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which I'll tell you my personal thoughts too. And then I went to my friend Charlotte's house and we did an outdoor movie night, which was so fun. It was a little bit chilly, but very cozy. We watched a movie. It was like a 1990s Meryl Streep movie, Death to Her, something like that, which is very entertaining and very 90s. And we also watched a Simpsons Halloween special. She has this like outdoor movie projector. And she got me a cake, which was so lovely. And she put like candles in it and everything. And then she also got me a couple of candles. So I thought I would show you those. Tyler got me flowers, which I will try and remember to put in the B-roll, which are really lovely. He was like, I got fall flowers because you like fall. And I was like, yes, I do, honey. So the first one she got me is the Witch's Cottage Clarence Honey. No, can you get off? And this one is iced gingerbread. And then the other one that she got me is, it just says, I like big gourds and I cannot lie. And they both honestly smell like fall, which is perfect. That is, I'm very, very excited to burn these. And then my parents got me a new swimsuit. My current swimsuit is in a sad way, so I very much needed that for when I go to the pool. And Tyler also got me these little opal earrings. So overall, I have just been thoroughly spoiled for my birthday, and I just feel very blessed and grateful. 31, crazy. I feel like just yesterday I was 21. but here we go. I guess that's time starts to fly. But I do feel very grateful and blessed, and I would not change a single thing about where I am right now. That's kind of a life update. Let me chat with you about some reading because I finished 2 books and I'm not actually in the middle of any books, which is weird. Usually I'm like in the middle of something when I talk to you guys, but I've just finished 2. So the first one is The Likeness by Tana French, which I ended up giving 4 stars. I really did enjoy this. I think I've talked to you about a lot of the things that I really enjoyed about this. Mainly, I thought the setup was great. The character work was really great. The mystery was interesting. The dynamics were really interesting. I liked the premise of it. I do feel like this was too long. And if I'm going to have a complaint with a Tana French book, boys, with a Tana French book, it's going to be that I think it's too long. While sometimes I think the length of a book can like add drama, add character conflict, I think in this one it almost took away a little bit. Like going through another scene of similar dynamics, I don't necessarily think added to a certain point. But having said that, it just dropped it from 5 to a 4. It isn't like I didn't like this book. I really, really enjoyed it. I will continue reading all of the Dublin Murder Squad books, but I do think it could have been about 50 pages shorter, and I think I would have preferred it. So yeah, thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed this one. 4 out of 5 stars. And then I don't think I've told you anything about A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Ignore the bookmark. It is at the end of the book as I have finished it. So this is I would say a magical romance. So this is about a girl named Sarah. I want to say she's maybe like 25-ish, 30, something like that. And growing up, she kind of knows about herself that she's a very, very powerful witch. This takes place in Britain. And essentially, at the beginning of the story, she has to perform a resurrection spell on her great aunt Jasmine, who dies. And by doing this spell, she loses her powers. And so she's been several years at this kind of creaky, old, dilapidated inn that has little bits of magic in it. For instance, one of the rooms that always rains apple blossom tea, and there's always like flowers that grow from different cups around the inn. But she's nowhere near as powerful as she once was. And she's surrounded by a lot of very entertaining characters. But essentially, she's trying to get her power back, and she has to learn this spell, and there's all these different steps. And then there is a very handsome man named Luke, who is a magical historian that kind of drops by the inn, and we go from there. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a romance between the two. This was the perfect palate cleanser book. It was so warm. It was written with so much heart. And it was one of those books where, like, after reading something like this, which was intense and long and dark, I just wanted like fluffy, cozy fantasy. And that's what I got from this. There was one open door-ish scene, although this is not super, super spicy. So I don't think that could, like, if you don't like a spicy romance, I don't think that should necessarily dissuade you, because a lot of this is just in the vibes of the cozy fantasy. I did feel like the plot was just a little bit muddled. It felt a little meandering, and I wasn't quite sure where we were going for a lot of it. But I also feel like a book like this is kind of about the vibes, and it's about just like sitting there with the characters and having a good time. So I didn't mind it at all. I ended up giving it a 3.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I would read more by the author. And I think if you want a vibey, cozy fantasy romance, I would check this out. So I finished 3 books in this vlog already, which is a little bit bonkers, but it's only Friday. So I feel like I could potentially finish 4 books in this vlog. So I am going to probably read just a little bit of this tonight, but I am going to pick up The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. This is a spicy romance about a woman named Jeannie. Jeannie, I think is how you say her name. She owns this pumpkin spice cafe in Dreen Harbor. I think this is kind of like a sunshine and storm clouds type of situation. She meets this farmer named Logan, and of course, it's going to be a romance between the two. But I think that this will just be all this fall vibes, and I'm looking forward to finishing up this fantastic reading week with a little bit more vibey reading. So with that, I am going to maybe watch like something spooky, maybe some Hocus Pocus or something. But more importantly, I'm going to head to sleep because I am quite tired. So I will let you know what I think of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So I have told you about all of the books that I have finished in this vlog, but I did want to give you just my opening thoughts of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which will end up being a holdover book, meaning I will finish it in next week's vlog. So far, I'm about halfway through chapter 16, and it's all vibes, but I'm not mad about it. Like, don't come into this expecting excellent literature and writing and like groundbreaking anything, but it is just like a cozy Stars Hollow story with a little bit of spice and a cute little fall romance. And that's all I'm really going to say about it. I am enjoying it. It is not going to be a 5-star read, but I'm enjoying it for the vibes. So this week I read 891 pages, which is 127 pages per day, with the caveat that 260 of those were Heartstopper. And so those are graphic novel pages, which obviously I'm going to get through quicker than I would a typical book page, but I'm just going to count them the same. I would say overall, my goal this week of getting back into reading, of feeling excited about reading, I think I really met this week. Like, there wasn't a single day where I just felt like, ugh, I have to pick this up. I don't want to read this. I felt kind of invigorated by the coziness, the vibes, the romance, and that was a really fun time. So overall, I'm really happy with how the week went. All right, and the quote for this week comes from the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and it is on page 76. And it said, they'd turn off the main lights in the cafe, leaving them in the soft glow of the night lights behind the counter. Moonlight streamed in through the big front window, and the trees outside cast shadows on the ceiling. The room smelled like coffee and pastries. Doesn't that just sound so lovely? So if you made it to the end of this video, leave me a heart emoji for the Heartstopper 5 stars that I gave this week. And with that, I will see you guys all very soon with another video. Bye.